I grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. About an hour north of us, tucked away in the woods, was a lake my friends and I used to visit in the summer. Crystal Lake. It's not a tourist trap or anything, just a quiet spot with a rickety wooden dock, a handful of cabins, and water that's always way too cold, no matter the season. I'd been there maybe twice growing up, but last October, we decided to rent one of the cabins for a weekend trip. There were 5 of us: me, my girlfriend Lena, my best friend Darren, his younger sister Cassie, and her boyfriend Tom. We wanted one last getaway before the Midwest winter really kicked in. The cabin we rented sat about 30 feet from the edge of the lake, surrounded by pine trees. There were no other renters that weekend. It was off-season, so we had the place to ourselves. The first day was normal. We grilled outside, made a fire, drank a little too much, and passed out. But that night, around 2:30 a.m., Lena woke me up. She said she heard something outside, like kids laughing by the water. I listened but heard nothing, just the wind moving through the trees. We chalked it up to a dream and went back to sleep. The next morning, Darren and Tom were joking about hearing ghost giggles outside their window. Cassie, on the other hand, looked dead serious. She said she'd heard something something that sounded like a little girl whispering the word help over and over again. We all kind of brushed it off. Honestly, we thought Cassie was just messing with us. But that afternoon, something weird happened. We were sitting out by the dock when Cassie pulled out her phone and showed us a video she had taken the night before. It was just her recording the lake, foggy and calm. She panned the camera left and right, then turned it to herself to make a face. But over her shoulder, just barely visible in the water, was a hand. Just a single pale hand floating inches above the surface. The rest of us thought it was a prank or some kind of reflection, but when she tried to show it again, the video was gone, deleted from her phone. Even stranger, her phone wouldn't let her access her photo gallery after that. Every time she tried, it just closed automatically. That night, Lena and I stayed up late, sitting on the dock with flashlights. We were half hoping to hear something, to prove to ourselves it was all just a fluke. But then we heard it. Not laughter, not voices, but splashing. Rhythmic splashes, almost like someone treading water in place. I shined my flashlight across the surface, and I swear to God, I saw something disappear under the water. Fast. Like it had ducked out of the beam. We ran inside. The next morning, Tom said he saw someone standing at the edge of the lake just before sunrise. Said it looked like a kid, soaking wet, arms limp at their sides. He went out to check, but by the time he got there, there was nothing. And that's when things started to really spiral. Cassie began sleepwalking. I woke up one night and found her standing waist deep in the lake, staring blankly across the water. When I pulled her out, she was ice cold and murmuring something under her breath, something about voices. She couldn't remember anything in the morning. We found wet footprints leading from the dock to the cabin, barefoot, too small to be any of ours. Darren wanted to leave, but we had no cell reception, and the cabin's landline didn't work. We decided to tough it out and leave the next morning. But that next morning never came. Because that night, Cassie disappeared. We searched the area for hours. Flashlights, calling her name, walking through the trees. We even checked the road. And then we saw it. Her phone, sitting on the dock, still recording. The video was 14 seconds long. It showed Cassie sitting, cross-legged, at the edge of the dock. She turns her head like she hears something, then whispers, "Do you hear that?" She stands up, takes one step forward, and something grabs her ankle and yanks her into the water. Fast, violent, no splash, just a wet thud, like a body hitting something solid. The video ends there. We called the police the next morning using a satellite phone Darren had in his car emergency kit. They showed up 2 hours later with a dive team. They searched the lake for 2 days and found nothing. No body, no clothes, no signs of anyone. They asked us to leave. The investigation went nowhere. 2 days after we got home, Tom posted a video on TikTok about the trip. It was just him explaining what happened, how Cassie had vanished. That video was up for less than 12 hours before it got removed for violating guidelines. He tried uploading it again, gone in minutes. Then, Lena started having nightmares. She'd wake up gasping, soaked in sweat, sometimes crying. She described the same dream every time. She's underwater, surrounded by faces, children. Their eyes wide, mouths open, like they're screaming, but no sound. Just bubbles. And something's pulling her down. I started hearing things in my apartment. Running water when no faucet was on. Wet footprints leading from the bathroom to my bed. One night I woke up choking on lake water, or at least that's what it tasted like. Cold, muddy, and metallic. Like something old and rotten had been soaking in it. I started digging, and I found out something they never told us. Back in the 1960s, Crystal Lake wasn't even called that. It used to be known as Harper's Drowning Hole. According to old newspaper archives, a church group had been holding baptisms out there during a drought. The water level was unusually low. A dozen kids drowned when a sandbar gave out beneath them. They were standing in waist-deep water when the ground just dropped beneath their feet. Divers tried to retrieve the bodies but couldn't. The lake bottom was too unstable. Years later, locals began calling it Crystal Lake, hoping to bury the story. But there are rumors. Rumors that the lake never gave the bodies back, that they're still down there, preserved, waiting. I don't know if that's true, but I do know this. 3 weeks ago, Darren went missing. His car was found parked on the edge of that lake. Driver's side door open, keys still in the ignition. Footprints led from his car to the dock and stopped there. And last night, I got a voicemail from his number. All I could hear was water, bubbling, sloshing sounds, and then, faintly, laughter. Children laughing, and just before it ended, I heard my name, whispered. I haven't told anyone this yet, and honestly, I don't know how long I'll keep this video up. But if you're hearing this, if you ever go camping in northern Wisconsin and someone suggests Crystal Lake, don't go. And if you hear voices calling from the water, don't answer.